Yeah, well, it's good. It's good to be with you, as always. Love it. Love the series that we're in. First Peter literally is one of my favorites. It's something that for years and years and years, it's one of the things I take young guys through. And so I love it. I'm loving this. And I would say I love the verse that we were in last week. And I feel like we're about to make a switch, but let's just go there. Chapter 2, verse 9 says, and I think you know this, you are a chosen people. You're the people of God. You're a royal priesthood. You're a holy nation, God's special possession. And if you don't know that yet, like the minute you put your faith and trust in Christ, you became his, and he loves you, and he made you, and he formed you. There's nothing like that. You're the people of God, filled with the presence of God, surrounded by a bunch of knuckleheads, but we've got the grace of God on our side, and we're all right, man. Like, we got this. And I think Peter just wants to lean into that and say that to us, but I'd always also say it like this, and I think you know this. But Peter, when he writes First Peter, everybody's been kind of waiting to hear from Peter. Like, he's the guy that got up on the day of Pentecost and he preached that message. He's the one that walked on water. He's the one that was the first to say, I believe you're the Christ. And since Pentecost, we heard some stories about him in Acts, but the church hasn't heard from Peter. So Peter, you can almost tell him he's a little nervous, because I don't know if you knew this, but First Peter, he decided to grab this guy to help him write the letter. I don't know if you knew this. First Peter is literally the most elegant Greek written letter in all of the New Testament. And Peter's like, you can almost tell, he's like, man, okay, I got a word, man. I got a word for the church, but I need some help because brother's a fisherman and I don't know how to write. So he goes to get some help. And he says, I want to just craft exactly what I want to say to them. And so he just sits down and he just unpacks his heart in such a strategic way. And so today what we're going to do is we're going to lean into, first things first, he's like, hey man, I want you to know who you are. Like, you got to know who you are. You're his, man. But then he's going to make a turn. We're here to make that turn today. And he's going to say, so that, you're his people, so that, and there's the word, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness and into his wonderful light. And Peter's about to make a shift. He's about to make a change. And he says, man, I want to remind you of who you are. And now I want to start fanning the flame of just what's been put inside of you. You have the light of Christ inside of you. You have the radiance of God in you. And so I want what has come to you to start to move through you. I know who you are, but I know more than just who you are, I know what you were made for. And so he just leans in. He just says, man, I just want to help you, man. I want to help you. I want to help you be the kind of radiant believers. I mean, when people are just in your life, it's not, you're like not even trying, but when you're in their life, it's just by knowing who you are and stepping in forward, that it's almost like the people around you just start coming to Christ. So here's what he says, verse 11. He says, dear friends, I urge you as foreigners and exiles to abstain from sinful desires, which literally they war against your soul. He's been talking about some specific ones, communal sins, because he's more concerned about the community of God than he is the individual stuff. Not that that doesn't count, but he does that. And then he says that there's gonna be some others. We're gonna talk about some other desires that we gotta kind of get rid of, which wage against your soul. Live such good lives among the pagans. Pagans, for you, if you didn't grow up in church, or maybe you don't know that word, pagans isn't maybe what you've seen in movies. Pagans to this society just means people that worship other stuff than Jesus. So just anybody that's just not worshiping Jesus, they just worship other stuff. He says, I want to talk about how do we tackle some desires that are going to literally keep you, I'm gonna say it like this, keep you from making the impact you were made for. There's some stuff that we hold on to that's gonna rob us from impacting the kinds of people they just don't know him, man. Let me just say it like that, they just don't know him. That though they accuse you of wrongdoing, they may see your good deeds, and when they see you, they see what you're made of, and they see what's in you, that they would glorify God on the day he visits.